guacamole, is it really difficult dating nowadays? Isn't it?
I'd say that's an understatement.
So much so that we're doing a video talking about the things that we wish we knew before we got into the relationships we got into.
Yeah, like good advice that you either heard or wish someone would have told you.
Yeah.
Like, let's say by the time you're like 18, heading off into the real adult world of dating. Because, when you're in school, that's one thing.
Okay, well, what's one thing that you wish you knew? The advice you wish you would have taken that you didn't.
Well, I wouldn't say it was necessarily advice that was given to me, but just, don't move in with people. Unless you've been with them for at least 6 months, I'd say, to a year, don't just move in with someone. I'd say that they probably said that to me when I was in all my Bible classes, but it would have been nice to not have to get rid of all of my shit every single time I moved out of an ex's house.
It's very true.
I have nothing.
So the thing about lesbians is we move in way too fast, but it seems like that's kind of happening in the straight dating game as well, where they're moving in way too fast, and it's really, really bad. Mm-hmm. Because you don't really know the person. You're still getting to know the person. Maybe you're in love, or you think you're in love, when really it's just infatuation. Love. You don't know any better because you're too young, right? So you think it's in love. You're going to be together forever.
Between that and I think it's that, and a lot of people have really parents, right? So they want to not everyone, even if they hate their parents, they want to get out from underneath their parents, right? That's just a normal thing when you're in your 20s. And so it's easier to move in with someone than it is to just move out on your own, I think, for a lot of people. In seeking independence, but being dependent creatures, they go back to being dependent because that's what they know. Mm. And that's the biggest mistake you can make, because unless you have your own grounding, your own footing, everything's going to fall apart. And I know, there's a couple at work. Remember I told you they got together, broke up, got together, broke up? That chick broke her lease before they broke up the last time. She told him to call and break the lease for her. So he did. In front of her, she handed him the phone, and he did it. And then when everything fell apart, she goes, "You broke my lease." He goes, "You fucking handed me the phone and with the number up.
How dare you do what I told you to do?"
Right?
What a bitch.
And so they weren't even dating for more than all of 3 months before all this unfolded. And to already decide that you're going to go and do that because it's cheaper.
Yeah, do you really want to move in with someone when you don't know how reliable they really are?
Or who they really are?
You don't know. You could date someone for a year and not really know who they are. Usually within the max, I would say 6 months is when they start showing their true colors. I would say 3 months. Some people can't even. Some people can't even do that.
Some people can hold face for a long time.
Yeah, that's usually when we're getting into sociopathic areas. Mm-hmm. Psychopathy, et cetera, et cetera. But really, I would like to get into the sad state of dating for young men now when they're dating women who want to be men or say they're non-binary, because that seems to be a thing that's running rampant throughout.
My mom called me today.
Dating. Throughout dating. Yeah, but this isn't the first time I've heard of it.
If you want to know, it's because my mom called me today, and they're about to get some information that I haven't said before on here, because I'll tell them about the whole night. I'll talk about what I said to my mom. Okay, so someone in the family, not direct, but in the family, one of their sons is dating a girl who wants to be a boy. They're above 18, so sorry. Someone's dating a woman who wants to be a man. My mom calls me and tells me about this happening, and she's like, "I just can't believe it. Can you tell me why?" And I had to break down for her why I believe people are
women
specifically,
girls.
Women specifically are going down this path. My little brother did it. I went out with someone who was a female who said they were non-binary or gender fluid, one of the two. And then I myself went out with a woman who confused me so hard with all this stuff. But
What'd she do?
She's a female who told me she was a female, but wanted everyone else to consider her to be a man. Mm-hmm. And so I asked her the one day, I was like, "So, you want people to look at you like you're a dude?" "Yep." "Okay, cool. So, do you want me to call you my boyfriend, or do you want me to call you my girlfriend?" "Well, I don't feel comfortable with you calling me your boyfriend. You're only allowed to call me your girlfriend. That's where I feel comfortable." And so people in conversations, when I'd bring up her, would say that I was an asshole constantly for not. Well, her pronouns are he, him, actually. Well, I don't know. I don't know how to say I have the card that says I can say their dead name or whatever. But yeah, the thing that really confused me when we first started dating, she came over and I was like, oh, hey, and I mentioned her name, right?
Yeah.
And she laughed in my face.
Why?
Because that wasn't her real name. That's what she said to me. Oh, I'm just not used to people calling me that. That's not my real name. My real name is... But she laughed in my face like it was a joke.
Who laughed in your face?
My ex. She laughed in my face and said, that's not really my name. Because she went back. That's what it said on the dating app. That's what it said on Facebook. That's what it said everywhere. So it's like... Oh, no, it was to my roommate. I was like, hey, everybody, this is Parker. And she laughed. Like, uncomfortable laugh. Like, it was a funny-ass joke that she was doing. I was like, what?
See, here's the thing about dating people like that is that they're mentally ill, okay? And they are making you mentally ill. Now you think you're fucking crazy, right? You're probably super confused at this point because you're like, why is she laughing at me right now? She's the one that this whole time I thought her name was and now it's like, surprise, bitch, your name is It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I told her
now you're like,
rude.
What's going on?
Yeah, it's really rude.
What is the truth now? We don't know.
I said it's real rude to tell me to call you something and laugh in my face when I call you it. So, like, if you told me to call you, I don't know, Stephanie, because you want to go by Stephanie. Like, not even saying you want to go by a different gender. You just hate your name, want to go by Stephanie.
Okay.
And I'm like, hey, guys, this is Stephanie. And you laugh like we're playing dress up and you're exposed. Like, nobody's going to buy your Stephanie. And you're making me look like a fucking fool in front of people that I live with.
These people have something wrong with them. And I feel worse for the guys because they don't see it coming. But with women, we already know how crazy we are.
I just realized, remember how I said my mom was uncomfortably supportive of that relationship? Mm-hmm. My relationship with that person. Okay. The first thing my mom asked me about the situation was, does that make him gay? So that means that my mom really did perceive me as straight in that relationship. That means that even Christian women are buying actually a man.
Well, I said this to you earlier. If you go into a psychiatrist's office and you say, I have two personalities. I'm Nina, Jan, and I'm Stephen. And they say, there's something wrong with you. Probably going to put you on some medication, et cetera, right? Or whatever. Come see me every week. But if you go in there and you say, hey, I was Nina, now I'm Stephen. Good for you! Coming out, you're so brave. You're so brave. They don't look at you like you're crazy. Now they affirm your delusion. And that's really scary, especially for like other people around them that don't understand this craziness to begin with, because you are making other people around you just as delusional as you. You are infecting them with your mental health issues by convincing them that it's like the right thing to do to, what did I say?
Not only acknowledge, but
jump into the delusional pool with you and swim around like everything is real.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, hey, there's a unicorn. Hey.
I guess that's my point with that. Like, that was my point
He's
with
a
that.
man. No, he's a woman. Oh, Jan!
Like, are we at that point where, like, I said, Mom, when I was with her, was I not a lesbian? And she was like, Did him wanting to be with a chick who said that maybe she wanted to be a boy make him gay? No. And so it's so alarming and upsetting because it will cause a lot of mental issues. So the nice ends of that story is her laughing in my face for calling her name that she asked me to call her. The unfortunate end of that story involved me, again, not getting any of my shit out because she me and I don't stand for that. So I got what was important and I left. So when I say don't move in.
Do you know that on YouTube, if you talk about unaliving or domestic violence, that they give you a yellow $sign?
Really?
Yeah.
Both of them?
It's the most thing
I
have ever heard of in my life. Hey, everybody. There's bad shit out there. Well, we're not going to talk about it. Yeah, we're going to talk about verbiage and wordage and pronouns. Days of girlhood. Shit. Let's not talk about the real issues that people go through. Yeah, like their mental health issues. We can't talk about that. That would be bad.
God forbid.
Why? Because it's dangerous and words are violence. Come on, people. Get with the goddamn program. People actually have issues. You're going to demonetize videos talking about mental health issues that are actually real and happening? No, let's talk about pronouns instead, because that's not mental health issues at all. Okay. Have you ever dated someone who has issues with their sexuality? Sorry, not sexuality. Gender, their pronouns. You ever dated someone who has an issue with their pronouns?
I have.
And gender? It's not good. Because you're taking yourself... And if you're like a mentally healthy person, you probably will not go for these people anyway. But if you're semi-mentally healthy and you date someone like that, 9 times out of 10, they're going to make you, sink you down, to that level, bring you into the delusion. You will placate them. They will gaslight you into thinking that you are wrong in some way, like reality is not reality, and all of a sudden you're in their reality, and everything they say is right because now you're living in their reality, so you're always wrong. Now you have a relationship where you're constantly in the wrong and crazier than when you got into it.
You know the one line that they always threw out in a fight?
What was that? Non-binary person? What was it?
You're just not listening to me.
Ah!
I'm not kidding. So I throw it back. You're just not fucking listening to me. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to have a conversation.
Hold on a second. Hold on. You're saying the sky is blue, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm saying, oh, okay, the sky is blue. You're not listening. I said it was green. Twilight Zone, what is this? Am I wearing pants? What is going on? You start to lose your mind.
Wait, I know I've mentioned this before. So I'd be like,
who said what?
I said to her.
Non-binary.
Yes.
Okay.
I said to the they, them, how's therapy going? You said you were going to go to work on our relationship. How's it going? Oh, I haven't talked about our relationship. I go to her more like a best friend, and I just bitch about things. Do you think that's helpful? Well, you're not listening to me. Yeah, right? Well, you're not listening to me. We have problems in our relationship. You want me to stay. So I'm asking to see if you've gotten anywhere. You're not listening to me.
Wait. You're confusing me right now. You're telling me she asked you if you go to your therapist.
I asked her.
You asked her if she goes to her therapist.
She just said she's going
to talk about your relationship?
Well, she said because... So I was like, well, maybe you should talk to a therapist about that, because if you want to do it, but you can't do it, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So she was like, okay, I'll go to therapy.
Okay.
So I said, how's it going?
In therapy?
And she said, it's fine. I just bitch about my day. And I was like, have you talked about the issue for which you went into therapy?
Yeah.
And she said, no. And I asked why not, and she said, you're not listening to me.
I'm confused by that statement.
I was like, I'm not ready. Well, then why did you go to therapy? To deal with that problem? You're just going to bitch? You're not listening to me. It was always any fight. You're not listening to me.
Yeah, if you're going to go to therapy, you might want to go to fix issues about yourself that you don't like instead of just bitching about everyone else, because you're just wasting your own time.
They get paid, honey.
And you're not benefiting.
They get paid to listen to you. At the end of 50 minutes, they're like, okay, that was great.
Thank God this fucking crazy
so
asshole
glad
is
they
out of
have
my
insurance.
fucking office. Jesus.
I went to a session once. Did I ever tell you that? You know what she straight up said in front of me and the therapist? You guys are ganging up on me. She said to me and her therapist that we were ganging up on her. And if that doesn't capture mental illness, I don't know what does. Like, if you could look at a mental health provider and say, you guys are against me.
Oh, she's one of those people who wants to go to an affirming therapist. Oh, yeah, because that works so well.
Yeah, her therapist was like,
Her
therapist is like, I see where she's coming from. Can you? And she's like, you guys are ganging up on me.
Listen, number one red flag. If you're going to go to a therapist, you're not supposed to go to the therapist to talk about your relationship unless it's a relationship counselor where you're going together.
Which is why we ended up going together, because I was like, well, she goes, well, why don't you just come with me and then you'll understand.
How long were you guys together for?
A total of 2 years. I told her after 4 months she needed to consider.
And you were still with her? What is your problem? No, I know what your problem is. I know what your problem is.
She guilted me to stay, and I was like, mentally,
oh my God. See? You were already mentally ill, and then you date someone who's just as fucked up as you are, and guess what happens? You go down the fucking spiral.
The problem is, like, and I hate saying this because I don't like to, like, compare, but, like, she was more mentally unwell than I was. I maintained 2 jobs, and she sat there and told me I was going to blow all my money on weed. She worked 20 hours. I worked 60 to 80 hours a week, and she told me I was going to blow all my money on weed. Bitch, I got stacks on stacks to blow on weed right now. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, those are the type of people they also really enjoy. And men, you might have dated women like this. Really enjoy pointing the finger.
Kicking you down.
Beating you down,
making
you feel bad about yourself because they feel bad about themselves.
It's typical
but they don't want to do. They'll say they're healing. They'll say they're working on themselves. They ain't doing shit. Mm-hmm. And how I know this is because if they were, they would be changing. They'd be actively working on themselves instead of bitching at you. You know, because they'd be like, I wonder why I want to bitch at him. Maybe. Oh, and I also wonder why I automatically go towards bitching at him. Maybe I should think before I fucking speak.
I think at the end of the day...
Just saying. dated a lot of women like this. I feel bad for men who have to deal with this because now they're dating women that we have to date. Mm-hmm. Women who think they're men or women who are in a different pronoun category altogether. I mean, it's like if you're a straight man, you want to date a woman, right? Mm-hmm. If you're a lesbian, you want to date a woman. We're talking vag and tits, okay? From birth.
Good old vag and tits.
Sorry, not tits from birth. But
take him out.
You know what I'm saying. that was it for me. That was it for me, but yeah.
Yeah, and those people, I mean, they don't want to work on themselves at all. They don't want to work for themselves. They will make you work for them. Those people don't want to work because at the end of the day, like I said, she worked 20 hours a week. I worked 60 to 80 hours a week. Mm. And she bitched that I blew all my money on weed. She bitched because she wanted my money. She didn't want to work. So people like that will complain and use and do whatever they can to get ahead. And that's the point that I made to my mother, is that those people, they don't want to lose. If you're saying that you are a trans person, fine. But if you say in an argument that you are, you get one of two responses. Oh, you're so brave. Here's a pat on the back. Or, oh, I don't agree with so-and-so. Oh, you're transphobic. How do you lose? I could simply disagree, and I'm transphobic. I'm not. I've had the first-hand experience. I'm not transphobic. I truly believe people are transgender. And I truly believe some people fall into the right category. But these people like the person my brother was with, the person I was with, and I'm hoping not the person I know is with now. But they just want to win always. And they want the attention. And it's really noticeable. So there's my little tidbit in my I dated someone who was trans story.
You know, it's funny.
Someone who was trans.
You know, what's funny is we started this conversation talking about things that we wish we could have, the dating advice we wish we would have taken that we didn't. And somehow we managed to end up on non-binary and trans. Now, why? Because most women around your age, some around mine, okay, there's a lot around mine, fuck that shit. There's a lot around mine too. And girls are in this very confused territory. And the thing is, I think they like it because it makes them right. Mm-hmm. It makes them right all the time. And what do women want? They want to be right all the time, right? So if you do the whole non-binary pronoun trans thing, and I'm talking about people who are like, this is bullshit.
You can't lose.
I'm not talking about like the real people, okay? I'm talking about majority of the ones who aren't. Mm-hmm. It's because majority of women now are sucked into this hole on, I fucking blame TikTok, where it's like you're getting attention for doing nothing, for saying pronouns and doing this and doing that. And it's like they're all out there now, and you can't seem to find a woman who's not a Republican who is normal anymore. You can't even find a regular lesbian nowadays. I can only imagine what it's like for fucking...
Can't even say that. My mom's a Republican woman who just said that she thought that my was gay because he's dating someone who has a vagina but wants to have a dick.
No, listen, if you're gay, you like dick.
That's my
point. If you're a lesbian, you like vagina. Mm-hmm. But if you're gay and you like dick, it means you have a dick and you like dicks. A lesbian is a naturally born fucking female with a vagina to begin with who like people who are naturally born with a vagina. I can't believe I have to fucking say this now.
I can't believe I had to explain that to my mother.
This is like the reality of the situation. No wonder so many men are single. No wonder why so many people have mental health issues. I wonder why, because everyone's friends with someone crazy, and it's making people nuts. Gaslighting everyone into what is real? What is this word real? Are you a girl today? Like, fuck, you can't win.
And if you're wondering the bridge we got from the dating advice thing, because basically my mom asked me for dating advice, and you wanted to talk about it. You did say.
Yeah, this was my dating advice. Run! Run, bitch! Run, boys, run! See you guys later. Have you ever had a dating experience similar to this in any way? Because you need to put it down in the comments because we need to laugh.